The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
Welcome back to the show. Please become a David Pakman Show member and help support the David Pakman Show to continue to grow. You'll get the podcast commercial free, the bonus show now produced in audio and video version 4 times a week, as well as an archive of our shows that dates all the way back to 2005. We've been kind of sitting on a handful of different abortion-related stories, Lewis, over the last few shows. And there's so many of these all together that it really makes sense to take a look at these kind of as a conjunction of what has become a peak of anti-abortion legislation. And to start with, the Mississippi State Republican Party is looking to make the entire state so-called abortion-free. Now, what's fascinating to me is that the last thing I would think would reduce the number of abortions to 0 is making legal abortions almost impossible to obtain. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
Regardless, the 2012 Mississippi legislature is considering almost 12 bills and constitutional amendments, all aimed at making abortions more difficult to obtain. You already need consent before a minor can have an abortion from both parents in Mississippi. Imagine in situations, Lewis, where it's difficult to get that from both parents because one parent may not be around. That's your problem. There's a new bill which would require that consent to be notarized on top of everything. Really? Notarized? What is the goal of that? How is that going to help the health of young women and babies? To require those to be notarized? I don't understand.
Just a stalling tactic. It's something to hopefully prevent an abortion, I guess, right?
Of course. And Mississippi has one abortion clinic. And a number of the bills in the legislature are focusing on that one abortion clinic located in Jackson, Mississippi. And the changes would include allowing only state-licensed OBGYNs to perform abortions, which would require the doctor to have admitting privileges at a local hospital and require the facility to carry an additional malpractice insurance. Doctors currently fly in from out of state to perform the procedures. Why? Because it's been so restricted that there's not even a point of having people work in state in that field, which is unbelievable, Lewis.
You know, this is going to sound pretty bad, but it's pretty shocking to me that the one facility hasn't been attacked, hasn't been destroyed.
Yeah, maybe it has, and we've covered a lot of those Molotov cocktail type stories through the window.
Right.
And I don't know if that Jackson, Mississippi location has been the subject of some of that. New Hampshire is going to another extreme. They are declaring the New Hampshire House, which is controlled basically by the Tea Party, has declared that abortion causes breast cancer, and they passed a bill that would mandate a 24-hour waiting period before an abortion. It would require the doctor to tell women that abortion causes breast cancer. Now, if you're confused about that, it's because that hasn't been demonstrated. There is not actually comprehensive agreement that that is actually the case, Lewis. Among the provisions are that that information has to be provided to the woman during that 24-hour waiting period. And among that also is that you need to be given a 24-hour state hotline number, material on paternal support obligations, a presentation of the potential side effects of the procedure, and a number of other things. And then the woman has to fill out a form, a checklist, indicating she has reviewed all of the information. This is concerning. This is pretty concerning, Lewis. And there is no proven cancer link to abortion, according to the World Health Organization and the American Cancer Society. If it were true, I would agree about the importance of it. However, 2 reputable organizations seem to indicate it's just not true.
Right, but I mean, what's going to happen here is that it's going to be up to each individual doctor. They get to choose how to word this.
Yeah, but you know that there's going to be stings done on these doctors to make sure they're doing it, don't you?
You think so?
I think so.
You know what? As long as the doctors say exactly what they need to say, they can also say whatever else they want to add to it.
In addition to that.
So, you know, as ridiculous as this is, luckily it's not nearly as bad as it could have been.